All right, Lightworker. Well, today's episode is a little different because today I'm talking to someone that I consider a mentor. And you know how sometimes in business you learn something that just clicks and it changes how you see everything? Well, that's what this man did for me. Tom Matzen is the one who introduced me to concepts like working with dolphins and not sharks, and strategic alliances instead of trying to do everything all by yourself, and truly understanding how to grow a business without burning yourself out. And here's what I love about Tom. He's not someone who just talks theory. He's someone who has started dozens and dozens of businesses. He's made millions, lost millions, and kept going. And Lightworker, that kind of experience, you just cannot fake it. This conversation is for the Lightworker who's building something real, who's maybe had a business that didn't go the way that they thought. I know I certainly have. And who is navigating things that can be difficult, like partnerships, who's starting to realize that once you hit a certain level, you grow through relationships, alliances, and masterminds. All right, this one feels really special. Let's see if he's calling. Oh, there he is. Tom, hey, how are you?
Hey, Joy, so great to see you.
You know, I gotta say, Tom, I am smiling big right now because this feels like a full circle moment for me. I mean, I don't even know if you know this, but you've been such an influence on how I think about business now, and I don't even know if you fully know that.
Oh, how nice to hear that. That sounds so amazing. I got to say it's likewise because we do a lot of work with a lot of people over the years, and anyone's in the coaching business knows clients don't always listen. and you're the opposite. You're the opposite. We work together on something and you're like, "What do you think of this? That's a great idea." And then next week it's done. and I wish I could bottle that and inject it in all of our VIP clients that we work with because it's so awesome. It's how I'm wired. I know it's how you're wired, but sadly most people are not action takers, and I love the fact that you are. It makes it so much more fun. Doesn't make it always works, but it means that we're trying, right? We're getting stuff done.
That's how you learn, is you just got to jump in and try. And I've never been somebody who was afraid to fail. So I am so grateful you are here today with us. And before we dive in, Tom, would you just give everyone the 20-second version of who you are and who you help? Because I know, like me, you are a multi-passionate entrepreneur and you do many things.
Yeah, happy to do that. I bet I describe myself now as a serial entrepreneur. Two-time best-selling author, business strategist, launched, 94 businesses now, coached over 10,000 entrepreneurs. But the thing I'm most proud of is my clients have generated over 175 million in additional sales all over the globe. And I'm partnering a bunch of different companies and I help run a nonprofit. So a lot of different things, but primarily my focus is helping entrepreneurs have more life, do good, and make money all at the same time.
I love that. So you are a master manifester of moving money around.
Ooh, I like that. I agree. Need a bumper sticker for that.
So Tom, I know, but I want everybody else to know because I know this is a passion project for you. So what are you working on right now? What's really lighting you up?
Yeah, there are three projects that are just really lighting me up. I'm on the board with Icon Maker, as you know, helping coaches, consultants, and entrepreneurs grow and scale, build seven-figure businesses. I'm launching an indoor golf cafe concept called Links Golf Cafe. It's kind of like Starbucks meets Topgolf, if you will. And a new strategic alliance with a gal called Catherine called 1,000 Person Tribe, where we help new entrepreneurs build their first or next 1,000 people on their tribe. Those are the three big projects. There's a few other ones I work on for fun and passion, but those are the big ones right now.
Yeah, and for everybody out there, I can personally recommend 1,000 Person Tribe because I'm in the system, and it's really
I didn't know
awesome.
that. That's awesome. I didn't realize that.
Of course, Catherine is my accountability partner.
Well, I knew that from the Scale to Eight Figures Mastermind, but I didn't realize you were in 1,000 person tribe. I love it. We actually spent a couple hours this morning brainstorming a brand new strategic lead magnet that when you see it, you're gonna be like, damn, this is good. We're like, it's really good. Well, when I say brainstorming, of course, that means Catherine, me, and ChatGPT.
you know, ChatGPT is a great sounding board. So
If you ask great questions, it's getting smarter and smarter, right?
it does, and I love how complimentary it is.
Yeah. Yeah.
It always loves
I'm even
all of your
using Claude
ideas.
now. Who says you can't teach an old dog new tricks? I'm even using Claude.
Awesome. Well, okay, so I just have to ask, since you've started so many businesses, I mean, over 90, right? Did you always know that you were a multi-passionate entrepreneur?
Great question. Well, the 90 businesses proves I can't focus. Right? That's obvious, right? And it also proves that I'm old. So there's two things it proves. No, I started with sole focus businesses, and that's all I did. All consuming, everything in, all the eggs in one basket. And what I found, though, was back then I didn't have the strategies to grow and scale. And so I would lose focus once the momentum started. And so a lot of the businesses evolved from, okay, I'm bored, essentially. I'm losing focus. Now let's find something else. And probably 50 of them came from clients. When I had my early coaching year, just partner with you and take a piece of the business. And I did that a lot. And, some of it worked and some of it didn't work, to be sure. But it fed my multi-focused mind for sure.
One of the things that really attracted me to you, because I look at a lot of marketing, is that you had started so many businesses and you were openly saying, I've made millions and I've lost millions. And that was always something that I struggled with because, I can't say I've started 90 businesses. I think I've started like 16 businesses. And some of them I actually walked away from. Some of them I sold for too little of money. I don't know if you know that, if you've had that experience. But what do you think that, going through the ups and downs of that, like, and this is for female entrepreneurs, so I'm really curious as to how you answer this, but emotionally, how did you respond to all of that?
Yeah, great question. I think the first thing is the reason it still says in my bio, and I say it all the time, made and lost millions, even though the last $1 million loss has been a while ago now, is because the best lessons came from those experiences. The best lessons came when things didn't work out. When I look back on it, I went, why did that not happen? What did I do? Did I partner with a shark? Oh, yeah, I partnered with a shark. That's one of my recurring themes. I'm sure we'll talk about that at some point today. But it was still one of those things where when I was able to, not right away, because right away you're hurting, right? You're blaming. And if you're good, right? Bad entrepreneurs blame everybody else. Oh, it's Trump's fault. Oh, it's Biden's fault. Oh, it's the planet's fault. Oh, whatever. Like they're always blaming other people. And frankly, I tell people, if that's how you're wired, you're a better employee than entrepreneur.
Whoa.
So the problem when you're an entrepreneur and you do blame yourself is that you blame yourself.
Yeah.
And so you need to learn resiliency. And I was blessed early on that I developed resiliency. I could get over a bad loss, a bad experience really, really quick and not blame my joy, because I've explored that before to try and figure out, where did I learn that? Where did I learn that? And maybe it was just because it happened so often. I was like, well, you better bounce up because it sucked again, right? Like maybe it was that. I think it was just free. Sometimes you just get better at something if you do it over and over and over again. I don't think there was any specific turning point other than early in the 90s, I started going to a lot of Tony Robbins events. And of course, Tony is really big for telling people that you are the product of the questions you ask yourself.
Ooh.
And, what a loser. You're such a loser. Why are you such a loser? Not a good question. and in Tony world, they slap you silly if you try that stuff, right? And so it was definitely in the 90s, I got some real formal training on how to take a loss and turn it into a lesson. And great entrepreneurs do that. You know that. You're like that. We've talked about it a bunch of times in different examples. Great entrepreneurs take a loss, and it's not a loss, it's a lesson.
Yeah. In fact, one of the businesses that I started was a royalty-free photo business decades ago, and it never, we got angel funding, actually from the CEO of Kingston Technology. We went through all of that, raising capital, and it never quite, it went all the way to the point where we actually sat down with Bill Gates. It was between us and another company. He was gonna buy one of us, right? Well, he ended up buying the other company. And I took that so hard. Like, I just took that as such a failure. And it wasn't really until about a decade later that I realized, actually I was talking to a mentor from that relationship, and he said, you have no idea how valuable the fact that you've been through that is to me as an investor now. Because I know you know what not to do.
There isn't a single venture capital investor worth their salt who doesn't look for that.
Yeah.
Right? They look for it. Because here's what they said to me one time. Have you had any losses? Have you gone bankrupt before? And I said, yeah, blah, 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 blah. And they're like, good. Because I don't invest with anyone that hasn't gone bankrupt at least once.
Yeah. And I think that that's important for people to hear, because you cannot succeed in business if you're not willing to take some risk. And some risk is often going to end up being what I like to call good feedback. I don't look at it as failure. I just look at it as good feedback. So, Tom, you mentioned dolphins and sharks. I want to go there, all right? You're the one who introduced me to this idea of working with dolphins instead of sharks, and I'm somebody who lives to swim with the wild dolphins. That's one of my favorite things to do in the world. Can you explain what that really means?
Yeah, happy to. It comes from a book by Lynch called The Strategy of a Dolphin. It's probably 10, 15 years old now. You can only get secondhand copies, but I love it. I love it. This is a model of humanity, right? It says there's three types of people: sharks, dolphin, and carp. And the sharks are all about them. It's kill or be killed. We all know the sharks, right? Their model of the world is you've got a pie and they want as big of a piece as possible. And so you have to get a smaller piece. And so they're wired to take and steal and bribe and do whatever it takes. They're wired to take your stuff if you're working with them in business, especially. And I learned this one the hard way many times, and many of my good friends have had the same lessons. And everyone out there, whenever I speak to a large group of entrepreneurs, I'll describe it, and then I'll say, anybody recognize that? Anyone know a shark? And all the hands go up. Like, all the hands go up. I'm sure your listeners right now, the viewers are going, yeah, I know some sharks, right? Right? We all know that personality. And so here's the thing: if you can learn from them, but you don't want to go into business with them, because their job is to take from you. That's their job.
Right.
And so if you go into business with them and they take from you, whose fault is that? It's your fault.
Yeah.
You went into business with a shark. It's not their fault. They're doing what they're programmed to do, right? They're programmed to take, right? It's like that old scorpion frog thing across the river we've heard many times, right? And the scorpion stings the frog and they both are drowning. And the frog goes, why'd you do it? He goes, I'm a scorpion. It's what I do, right? And so same thing. Sharks are sharks. So that's number one. Number two is carp. Carp are the bottom fish. They're the ones, every time you talk to them, you say, hey, how's it going? Blah, 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 blah. And they go, well, I got eaten by another shark. What? Didn't you get eaten by a shark last week? Yeah. Oh, yeah. I got eaten by a shark last week. Yeah. I got eaten by a shark again. Now, they use different words, but that's what they're saying.
Yeah. Wow.
And every time you talk to them, they're really nice people, but every time you talk to them, they're getting eaten by another shark. They're the ones who got COVID 7 times, right? Right. It's okay to get once or twice, but like 7 times? Come on. Like, what are you doing? Are you licking door handles? Like, what are you doing 7 times? Anyhow, so that's the carp, right? And then the third category is dolphins. And in the wild, as you know, Joy, dolphins are about fun and pod and play and togetherness. But in the wild, and I've had the pleasure of swimming in the wild like you have, there's only one creature that sharks fear.
Yeah.
They don't fear man. They only eat man by accident. They don't understand us. We're not part of their world, right? They think we're a seal or a Twinkie or something, and that's why they munch on us. They don't understand us. They don't fear us either, but they do fear dolphins. And the reason they do is that if a shark goes after a weak member of the pod, the other dolphins will beat on that shark until it can't swim.
Yeah.
And when it can't swim, it dies.
Right.
I love that metaphor. I like, we're all about fun. We're all about playing together. But you mess with us, look out. We're coming for you, Mr. Shark. And by the way, it's usually a mister. It's not always, but it's usually a mister. There are way more dolphin women percentage-wise than shark women percentage-wise. Not all. Don't be fooled. If you're a woman and you're listening to this, don't be fooled. Just because someone's a woman doesn't make them a dolphin. Because there's this other category that I know I invented. That's the 3 in the book. I invented a 4th one called Enlightened Shark. Oh. Enlightened Shark, it's still all about them. But they know to get what they want, your love, your sex, your adoration, whatever it is, they have to help you get what you want. And so they're enlightened sharks. Their fundamental drive is still about them.
Yeah.
Don't be fooled by it. It's still about them. But they have to help you get what you want in order to get what they want. And so these are our biggest trainers and leaders. These are the personal development gurus you follow. These are the big names in our industry. I've had the pleasure of sharing the stage with most of them. I've been in the back rooms, the green rooms, high-end masterminds with them. When the guard is down, it's all about them. It's all about them. It's not about serving. So right? We teach strategic risk reversal, guaranteeing linking payments to results, which you do now as well. They don't do that. They laugh at it.
Yeah.
Like, why would you do that? No, then you have to deliver. They literally say to me, then you have to deliver on what you sell. So there you go. There's the framework. Yeah. Dolphins, sharks, and carp. That's why I got my dolphins in behind me here.
I love that. I love that. You have also, Tom, taught me so much about strategic alliances. And, as I've gone through my own career, I've learned that the fastest way to grow a business is through strategic alliances, except you taught me unique ways of doing it. And I know it's what you call leveraged acquisition. Why do you believe partnerships are such a powerful growth strategy?
Well, it's such an important question. First off, it's the only self-funded exponential growth strategy in the toolkit. So let's break that down. Self-funded, right? You're paying for it after you get results, right? If someone promotes your webinar and then someone buys your offer and then you pay them a referral fee, you pay that after they buy, not before. What does Facebook or Meta want? They want the money up front.
Yeah.
They certainly want a card on file, right?
Sharks.
What does a newspaper want? They want you to pay for that ad up front. What does the radio station want? Pay for the ad up front. Most marketing is hope and pay. I call it hope and pay. You hope it'll work and you pay them up front. Whereas strategic alliances, joint ventures, that sort of world, you're paying on results. So it's self-funded. And then quantum growth, what does that mean? You can't grow with joint ventures 10% a year. You'll grow 20, 30, 50, 1x, 2x, 3x, 10x. You don't grow 10% a year with strategic alliances. You can't. You have to not do it. You have to barely do any to grow so slow, right? Whereas conventionally, that's considered great growth. For an established business to grow 10% or 15%, that's considered great growth. Well, for most entrepreneurs, that's not good enough, right? It's just not good enough. You're not reaching enough, serving enough people, right? Your impact isn't as high as it should be. And if I know you believe in this too. If you have something of value and you make a difference in the world, you have a moral obligation to serve as many people as possible.
Absolutely.
I learned that from one of my mentors, Jay Abraham.
Yeah.
And so it's not about the money. It is about serving others at a higher and higher level. And the only way to do that exponentially that I know of without a lot of capital is strategic alliances.
And so why do you think most people avoid this approach?
Ignorance.
Yeah.
They literally don't know. They literally don't know. That's the only reason. And here's the thing. They're doing it all the time. They just don't know it. It's not orchestrated or planned, or they're not getting paid from it, but they're doing it all the time. When you watch a movie, right? And we're recording this around the craziness of Devil Wears Prada 2, which I tried to watch 1 the other night and I fell asleep. And I'm like, oh man, I gotta watch it before I go to see 2. Because I love sequels if they're done well. And given the sales, clearly this thing's doing well because it's lighting up the sales, right? So it must be, to me, I'm assuming it's a really good story. I could be wrong.
Yeah. So what do you think makes a great alliance actually work?
Well, that's the thing. If you look at any one of these big businesses, strategic alliances are done all the time. You go to that movie, you like it, you tell a friend, hey, you should check out this movie. That's a strategic alliance. Think it is. You're just telling a friend, that was a good movie. You should go check it out, right? Before in the green room, your husband mentioned a golf course near you. If I come that way, well, maybe the two of us will go play it, right? He's recommending the course because he must like it or feel I would like it, not because he's getting a referral fee. Alliances all the time. We just don't always apply it to our business. But those that do, it's their primary way to grow and scale their business. It's their primary way. Referral programs are a form of strategic alliance. And I use strategic alliances, as you know, instead of joint ventures or affiliates for a reason. I look at the whole world of alliances as a big, huge pie, and joint ventures are one piece of that, right? The easiest one. I've got a webinar, you promote it. That's a simple way to look at it. But it can also be strategic partnerships where we partner together and form what I call the math of strategic alliance, which is 1 + 1 = 11.
I like
Because
that.
done right, that's what happens. The combined forces are stronger, right? Take a look at our Scale to 8 Figures mastermind that you and I are both in, right? The combined forces of our group are way stronger than the parts.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Right? And all great masterminds, by that I mean a mastermind done right, is exactly that. It's way better than the sum of the parts. I believe done right, masterminds are the greatest force for good in business for that very reason. It's a form of a strategic alliance. And that doesn't matter whether you're paying to be in there, you're free to be in there, or you're running it yourself. It doesn't matter where you are in a great mastermind or how you got in there. If you're playing full on, you're looking for ways to serve other people at higher and better levels. Right. And that's the key thing about strategic alliances. They're designed, done well, they're designed to be triple win. So you win, I win, and the planet wins, or you win, I win, and your customers win, right? More than just a transaction. So yeah, I'm a huge fan of it. You are too, I know. It's a big part of both of our businesses. And once it is, here's the thing, for those of you that have been dabbling in it, once you understand, it's just simply a matter of playing with dolphins, not sharks.
Yeah.
Once you get that, you'll never turn back. It's the fastest way to grow exponentially there is. And it's self-funded. It's the smartest way to grow.
Yeah. Yeah. In fact, I was going to ask you about masterminds because I really think that a lot of businesses, when they finally hit that 6-figure or 7-figure, especially 7-figure and 8-figure revenue mark, you can't grow the same way you did in the beginning. And that's why I think masterminds are so important, is just because it helps you get out of your own vacuum and, see what other creative business entrepreneurs are doing, because they wouldn't be at that point of 7 or 8 figures if they didn't have a lot of ideas on how to juggle, how to work in and out of different situations. So I'm glad you brought that up.
Yeah, and if you look at any successful company that grows and scales, they operate using what entrepreneurs call a mastermind. They just call it something else in corporations, right? They call it board of directors, board of advisors, committees, right? Growth and expansion committees in fast growth companies. Any of you that have been corporate and are now entrepreneurs, you had a version of that before. And you also did strategic alliances. Right? When Pepsi is inserted in a movie and Burger King is showing the toys from that movie, including Pepsi, that's a strategic alliance. Right? We see it all the time. We just don't recognize it with that label all the time. But once you start to recognize it, you see it, and you see it everywhere all the time. Right? When you go, I was at Costco yesterday. I went to my eye surgeon. That's why I'm wearing these fun dark glasses. I'm recovering from eye surgery. And on the way back, I hit Costco where I used to live. In fact, I found out yesterday, Joy, you'll appreciate this. 1985 is when that Costco opened.
Wow.
And I was there that first month. I remember going in. I'd never heard of the thing. And it was the first month it was there. And I'm like, I have to have a membership to go spend money? Oh, What a bunch of idiots. This will never last. In my head, I said, it'll never last. I was kind of wrong. Kind of wrong.
Kind of, yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay,
But
so
it was, you walk into Costco and you see strategic alliances all over the place.
yeah,
Right? You see the women doing samples of food.
Yeah.
That's a form of strategic alliance. You taste the yummy little sample, your tummy goes, good, and you go buy some. Or no thanks, and you leave it. Not every time you buy,
Yeah.
but why are there sample people up and down every aisle? Because done right, it gets you to buy more of their product. That's a strategic alliance. In fact, my last corporate job, I actually hired demo people to work Costco to sell Koala Springs beverage. You probably don't know that part of my background, Joy. I was a Western Canadian sales manager for Koala Springs. Some of you may know the product. It's natural fruit juice, sparkling water in a bottle. It was made then in Australia. Now it's bottled locally across North America. But I was selling it, and we were using Costco. They were a huge customer. And I remember seeing the data on these samples, these demos. We would spend $200 on a demo gal, and we would bring $500 wholesale of sales in. And I said to my boss, I said, is this right? He said, oh, yeah, we kill it. We kill it in Costco. I go, why are we not doing more demos? He goes, I don't know. I go, well, do you mind if I can keep these numbers this way? Do you mind if I do more? And he goes, Tom, you spend $200 and you make $500 first purchase? Do as many as you want. Do as many as you want. So I literally hired every demo person in the city of Vancouver for 3 months.
wow,
Every single one. And we 10x'd our volumes.
wow.
In Costco, we 10x'd our volumes. Costco's were selling more than 23 Safeways of our product.
Oh
each
my
Costco.
gosh.
Yeah, it was awesome, but it was just like math. It was just math. I mean, we pay for the demo person. They give you a taste. You go, this is good, and you buy some. It wasn't complicated. Strategic alliance is part of, when I say ignorance, I mean literally most people don't know how easy it is to do a strategic alliance.
Yeah.
Right? As we sit here today, tomorrow I'm mailing for a good friend of mine who does this really cool analysis of established businesses to help them optimize. He doesn't have a referral link. He doesn't have a referral software. I had to convince him to set up an opt-in page, right? Like he's not an internet marketer in any way, shape, or form. He's just really good at what he does. And I'm going to recommend to my list his, essentially it's like an audit. They come in and analyze your whole business. I'm going to recommend it to my list. And I know somewhere between 5 and 25 people are going to reach out to him and say, hey, Phil, hey, let's play. Hey, yeah, I'm interested, right? And I'm doing it because we're longtime friends and we haven't talked in a while, and I just want to help the guy.
That's awesome.
Right? So the win-win takes up a lot of forms. People think, oh, it always has to be paid. Not necessarily. That is one way. That's a subset.
Yeah.
Right. And by the way, if you're offering your stuff and someone else mails for you or promotes for you, it is totally appropriate for you to offer a referral fee. Totally appropriate. Don't feel bad about that. You're paying for results. Feel great.
Yeah.
That's the best money you can spend. The best money you can spend is referral fees.
Yeah, word of mouth, and it's when you think about it, it's just a natural evolution of a good product. Maybe that's why some people don't start down that path earlier on, is because they're not confident about their product yet.
Well, and that's it's interesting. What it does is accelerate word of mouth. So if you've got a crappy product, it actually doesn't work. So you're right in that sense of, it's like sampling, right? If you're going to sample, I built a lot of coffee bars, as you know, as part of my background. I built 187 coffee bars, sold like 192,000 books on the subject. There's still 1 million sites with my name and coffee on it out there on Google. It's crazy, even though I haven't done a coffee bar in 10 years. The thing we learned, though, was I just lost my train of thought. What were we just talking about as we went into that?
How referrals or word of mouth can work against you.
Yes, thank you. Yeah, what I learned was if you have shitty coffee, giving out samples speeds you out of business. Right? You got to have an awesome product or service for strategic alliances to work.
Right.
Right? It doesn't help a terrible company.
Yeah.
Right? Or a terrible product or a commodity. It's got you need to be clear on what something special is that you're doing, and then it can work really well.
So, Tom, you've had a lot of partners across a lot of ventures. Have you ever had a partnership that didn't go the way you expected?
That's funny. I live in Vancouver. That what Joy just did. Everybody was asking me, "Does it ever rain in Vancouver?" Yeah, more than not.
Ooh, yeah.
More than not. I am an expert. I am a world-class expert on picking bad partners.
So
In
does
fact,
that
I
mean
would
that
say
you,
there's probably no one better on the planet at picking bad partners than me. Now, I'm happy to say my current partnerships, asterisk, 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 aren't part of that.
yeah.
But I every possible bad combination, I figured out a way to do it. I've gotten sharks that looked like dolphins for sure. I brought people in because they had money but no other value.
Ooh.
That's not a partnership. That's a loan. Okay. Right? You don't bring someone in as a partner because they bring you money. That's not a good enough reason. Right? I made that mistake a bunch. Every possible mistake you could imagine, I've made on that. And now I sum up my philosophy of partnerships because done right, it's still 1 + 1 is 11.
Yeah.
Right. And Icon Maker is a partnership with Cheryl Plouffe and Danella Burnett. We would never exist, let alone have done over 10 million in sales in our first 2.5 years if it wasn't for the partnership that was formed. There's no way it would have happened that way.
Yeah.
So I'm not anti-partnership. I'm anti-partners with sharks for sure. Like, do not partner with a shark under any circumstance. You will get burned. And then you will remember this and you'll say, oh, yeah, Tom told me about that. Tom told me about that. Darn it, that Tom. I should have listened to him. Right. And you'll blame me because you didn't listen to yourself. Like, don't partner with other sharks. Okay. So, yeah, there are other reasons why partnerships fail for sure. But the failure rate of small business is 62.8% in 5 years, according to the U.S. Small Business Administration. So that means 2 out of 3 businesses essentially fail in 5 years.
Wow.
The failure rate of partnerships is above 72%.
Wow. I didn't know that.
So the failure rate of partnerships is higher than the failure rate of solo businesses, and solo business failure rates suck. Okay, right? So it compounds the problem. But I will tell you, done right, it's a force multiplier.
Yeah, I agree with you. Done right. That's the key because it can be the biggest nightmare of your life when you're going through it if it's not done right.
Yeah.
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 So after all these years in business, have you ever had a moment where you realized it's not just strategy, but something bigger is at play here?
Oh, for sure. We teach a concept called Ikigai. Well, we didn't teach it. We learned about it and shared it. It was a 700-year-old Japanese concept called Ikigai, which is about your purpose, your reason for being in life. I believe the meaning of life is to find your purpose and live it to its fullest. That's what I believe. Find your purpose and live it to its fullest. It's not about money. It's not about transactions. It's not about clients even.
Yeah.
It's about finding that calling and living that to its fullest. And for those of us that are entrepreneurs, yeah, that means having more impact, influence, and income along the way so we can do more good in the world.
Yeah.
So we can make a big difference. I was reading an article on Melinda Gates. I don't really know much about her. And I was reading an article on Melinda Gates. Post-divorce, she got like either 2.3 or 3.2 billion in the divorce.
Wow.
Right? Which is a lot, but compared to Bill's net worth, clearly he had a prenup in place. But here's the crazy cool part. She then proceeded to donate 1.2 billion to her own new foundation.
Yeah, I
and
saw
she stepped
that.
down from the Gates Foundation that they started together as part of the deal and set up her own foundation and started her own thing. And I'm like, dang, how amazing is that?
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
So there's the calling in life isn't about transactions. It's about serving, it's about living our purpose. And for those of us that are called to be entrepreneurs, that includes serving our clients the best way we can. Right? Serving our clients the best way we can. And so to me, that's where the focus ought to be for every entrepreneur. How can I do that? Now, I want to be clear. Small business owners think they have to do it all themselves. Entrepreneurs, eventually, hopefully sooner than later, realize it shouldn't be me doing all of that serving. It should be our company doing all that serving. And their job is to get out of the way so your team can do its best. and serve and support. And that's the entrepreneur's sort of paradox, right? You know that,
Yeah.
because we talked about it many times, right? It's so easy. We were doing a goal setting session 2 sessions ago in the mastermind about referral programs. And you're the only one on the call. I don't know if you remember that part, Joe. You're the only one on the call who said, yeah, this one here, my team's going to be implementing that one.
Yeah. I mean, that was a brilliant thing that you gave to us during that call. That was really, I was excited
I'm
about
glad
it.
to do it. But to me, the brilliant part was reciprocated by you saying, yeah, I'm getting my team to do that. And then you came back the next week and you'd said they actually did 2 of them. Not one of them even. It was 2 of the systems they're running with. And I'm like, I got to do that too.
Well, I mean, isn't that the point of a mastermind? I mean, hello.
Yeah.
Aren't you there to get ideas?
Absolutely. And help each other implement them. Right?
Yeah, absolutely.
Yep.
And encourage each other because, and I think we talked a little bit about this last time on our mastermind, is that, you know, as entrepreneurs, we go through the same thing other entrepreneurs go through. You know, I do not want to go into my office today and sit in front of that computer. You know, I don't want to do it today, you know, but I think the difference is that, you know that that's just, you know, a momentary thing and you'll get through it. And, you know, the sun comes up again the next day, you know, you just keep plugging away at it. Okay, I noticed on your LinkedIn page, Tom, you had a philosophy about more life and more profit. You talk about earning twice as much with half the stress. Mm-hmm. I don't think I've heard you talk about that. What does that actually look like in real life?
So 2 different parts, 2 different things. So more life and more profit is a philosophy. I call it strategic philanthropy. There's 2 models of philanthropy, right? You make a lot of money and then you give some away. Right? We just talked about Melinda Gates, $1 billion, right? That's pretty good. You know, that's 1,000 million. That's like really good, right? I bet you she's one of the top, you know, 50 contributions of all time in America. I mean, that's like amazing, right? But that's the old model. Make a lot and then give some away. That's called philanthropy. Nothing wrong with that. It's been around for thousands of years and it'll be around for thousands more, hopefully, right? If the aliens don't take us over. Next, though, is strategic philanthropy. Strategic philanthropy is doing it as you grow your business, building it into your model to serve and support others as you grow. If you're a coach, maybe you offer for every paid VIP client a scholarship to a single mom.
Yeah.
Comes with the deal. Or in our case, you know, we do a lot of workshops, 4-hour deep dive trainings. We charge $27 and donate it to Kiva to do microloans for women in developing countries. I now am at 244 loans I've done.
I love that.
I love it. I'm going to keep on doing them as long as they'll let me. I just love it. It's an incredible way to empower women in other countries to grow and build and expand and serve their families and their tribes and their people in that area. So doing good and making money at the same time is a choice. It's a strategy choice. And the beautiful thing is for entrepreneurs, if you let your customers in on that, you make more money.
Yeah.
You actually make more money because they go, oh my God, I want to support you.
Yeah,
I want to support you. That's brilliant. What do you do there? Like, simple example, I came across this when I was doing coffee bars, and I heard about Coffee Kids, which did microloans for women in developing coffee growing countries. And if you don't know much about how coffee is picked, 2,000 hand-picked cherries, 9 steps of drying, 1 pound of coffee.
Wow.
And the farmer gets about $1.20 to pick 2,000 cherries.
I did not know that.
$1.20 to pick 2,000 cherries. If coffee was grown in Missouri or in British Columbia, we'd never get it. Or else we pay $40 a cup of coffee or something, right? Like, it's crazy. We would never do that, but that's there. So we would support them, and what we decided to do was charge a nickel more per cup of coffee, and had to sign up. All the proceeds go to Coffee Kids. Our tip jar went to Coffee Kids because we paid our staff properly. They didn't need the tips. And so we started promoting that, and our sales went up and our profits went up. Because now we had a competitive advantage over the Starbucks down the way.
Yeah.
Or the Second Cup or the Gloria Jeans, wherever you're based. We had a competitive, unique advantage. They weren't doing that. A nickel from every cup of coffee. That's it. Right? And literally, our profits went up the first month we put it in place. Right? We We knew it was going to be good. We didn't know that part was going to be there. So that's why I call it do good and make money at the same time. So that's that one. Any questions, comments about that?
Well, I love that concept. And when I heard it, and it was from you about the philanthropy workshop or webinar, I applied it towards, as I told you during the last mastermind, I have a food truck, and I thought, well, we should use the food truck to raise money for the local, food pantry here. And I love that concept. I think it just makes so much sense. And I think people also love to participate in, and it's so easy to do, even if it's just like roundups, it's not that much, but it makes a huge difference. Okay,
Totally.
Tom, are you ready for microwave moments?
No, because I got to quickly do the other one.
Oh,
Earn
I'm
twice as
sorry.
much with half the stress.
Okay.
Earn twice as much with half the stress. That
Okay.
was my second book.
Okay.
And it's super important. There's only one way to earn twice as much with half the stress.
Okay.
And that's to put in systems in your business for all the key things so you don't have to do it all yourself.
I know that one really well.
Yeah.
I learned
You're
that
a
the
master
hard
at that.
way.
You've been doing system training for a long time and implementing. You're a master at that. I love it.
Well, you have to. I mean, you cannot scale without
No, you
putting
don't.
systems
Here's the
in.
crazy part. I guarantee you 80% of the people listening to this don't.
No, because they can't get, and I understand because I walked that line. It's your baby, right? You birthed it. And you have to eventually hand it over to someone. And, there's two things that I think come up for people at that point. One is ideally you want to hire someone who's even better than you. You want to hire someone who's even better at those things that you've had to do. Maybe you don't love it. Hire someone who's better. And I think a lot of times entrepreneurs don't. They hire people slightly under themselves. So that's number one. And the second thing is just like, you have to be able to let it not be perfect. Perfection is the thing that will kill every business. I've watched it again and again. Yeah.
In fact, what you want, I had an expert trainer teach me this. He said, you want it to be 80%, not 100%, not even 90%, 80% of you doing it, and then put a system in place to catch the other 20 and improve it.
Yeah.
Two different systems. First system, do it 80% as good as you. Second system, catch the gaps and improve that.
Well,
and it was so brilliant.
And having the system in place is how you catch it.
Yep.
Because when you don't have the system in place, you're just like, you got your fingers in the holes in the boat and it's sinking and you don't really know what's going on because you're too busy putting out fires. But when you have the systems in place, you're like, it becomes really obvious where the problems are.
I love it.
Okay.
Okay, now we're going to magic mushroom moments, or no, what do you call it?
Yeah, we're going to those microwave moments. Ready?
Microwave moments. That's it. I'm sorry, I got confused.
Okay, when I say integrity, you say
Character.
When I say money, you say
Value.
When I say impact, you say
Love.
Ooh, I like that. Okay, when I say partnership, you say
1 + 1 is 11.
And finally, when I say legacy, you say
My son.
Aw, those are really good, Tom. I love those.
I passed.
Yeah, you passed, yeah. Well, Tom, I just want to thank you. This conversation really means more to me than you probably even realize. And you have shaped so much of how I think about business today in a really meaningful way. And I'm so grateful you took the time to be here.
Well, I am so honored. You inspire me all the time. And I know the way you serve and support your clients is so aligned with me and what we do. And I'm honored to serve and support that journey in any way. If you guys are in Joy's world, you already know how awesome she is. And if you're watching this and you're not, reach out to her, reach out to her team, find out how to play with this dolphin because she's making a big difference in the world.
Aw, well, thank you. And before we go, is there any place that you would like to, point our listeners to, see what you're up to or?
Yeah, probably the best way to connect with me is simply look up my last name on LinkedIn, Matzen, Matzen, if you're from the Commonwealth. wherever you're listening from. There's only one Tom Matzen on LinkedIn. Actually, there might be two now in the whole LinkedIn world, which is kind of wild. And feel free to connect with me there and reach out. But, fundamentally, I love the work that you're doing, the difference you're making in the world, and I'm glad you asked me, and I'm happy to come anytime.
All right, my friend. Well, let's do this again. This was fun.
You got it.
All right.
You got it.
All right, Tom. I'll see you later. Bye-bye. Okay, Lightworker. That one hit different because what you just heard is what real entrepreneurship looks like. Not perfection, definitely not in a straight line, but someone who has kept going, who made millions, lost millions, and kept going. And here's what I want you to take from this. You don't build $1 million Lightworker business by doing it alone. You build it through the right people, the right partnerships, and the right rooms. And that's why spaces like Million Dollar Lightworker exist. Because once you're ready to grow at a higher level, you need to be around people who think differently, they move differently, and they build differently. And Lightworker, remember, you are never too old, and you're never too young, and your work matters. So until next time, keep shining your light.